Okay, guys, welcome. Let's see how you export your project out from Houdini to other programs. But before we do that, let's talk about materials. Because so far, what we've been doing is modeling, right? And these materials are designed. Let's get to the material part right here. Okay. Houdini have a lot of, you know, pre-installed materials that you can use, some for glass. There's a couple of different types of materials you can use. You know, when you come to metallic, we have aluminum, copper, paint, and all that. But most of these materials are designed to work only in Houdini, right? So it will work really good here and it will do the work for you. But when you want to export your work outside from Houdini to other programs, not all the materials here going to work for you. Let's see if we export this to 3D Max and see this basic material we have. Select this whole thing. Come back to the system. Now, to send something out from Houdini, it's very simple. All you have to do is select the object you want to send out. Houdini will link them together for you. It will create a link to hold everything. So let's send this one out quick. But before we do that, we were talking about material, right? And we said these materials are not going to work outside. Okay. And it also does not have a UV because we just finished the modeling. So after you finish modeling, it's a lot of work to be done. Okay. So when we come to export, we want to export it as an FBS format. Okay. And this dialogues pop-ups, just leave it at the default. This is the part you have to select where you're going to save your object, right? So I will save it at desktop Houdini save. Okay. And I will name the file bike underscore 3 because I probably have bike 2 in there. Okay. You see, bike 2 is already here. Okay. So let's save it bike 3 and then accept. See, now the path to where you're going to save comes and then it's saving the bike name right here. So let's go. Let's export it. Let's jump into 3D Max. Okay. And let's bring import. See, this is the bike we just saved, bike 3. So let's open it. Now we're going to have a problem where the materials are not going to show up, right? Everything that have that material from Houdini is what? It's black. That means it's not able to process that material. If we see the character have a quick UV, we talk about it, a quick UV material on it. And therefore it's showing because it's a texture, it's an image that is covering the character. So that is working. And this stripes here is working because it don't have no material on it. It have the default material, and this one too have the default material. So they are all showing up right. Okay. So in here in 3D Max, you can add your own texture to this. Even these ones, we can add our own material to it. So if you select it and you bring in the material palette in 3D Max and you pick this material, see, it's black. So we can change the color to maybe yellow. See, and it's reflecting all the other material because they are all using the same material, right? So you see, you can change the colors to how you want. All right. So let's go for the first lucky one. We pick the yellow, and boom. And here in 3D Max, you can work with the glossiness and how reflection and all that is looking for you. We know that a certain material from Houdini is not going to work. When you finish the object, you have to add a normal to it. The normals will convert all the Houdini normals to a vertex, which is used in most of the outside programs like 3D Max. So when you have a normal at the end of your object, it will show up and everything will work, right? Okay. So we have this in 3D Max. Okay. But what about if we want to bring something from Houdini, like the same stuff we have in Houdini, we want it to come to outside programs. So let's go back and see how we will tackle situations like this. Okay, so here in Houdini, we already know that this material we have is not working outside. But that is not the only material. There are other ones we can pick. If we come down here and we come to basic diffuse, this material is programmed, with basic stuff. With the algorithm, the way they program it is the same as most other programs use. Basic color, diffuse roughness, diffuse reflectivity, opacity, So you find these same stuff everywhere. If you want to use a texture, you have a color map where you go for a texture to add to your object. So this basic one will work outside. So if I put this basic diffuse here, it's giving me a different regular color. That's the default shade for Houdini. So what about if I want to change the color? Very simple. The property is here. All you do is you change it like we did in 3D Max, and then you have the red color for it. Okay. So that is how you change something that will work outside of Houdini in here in Houdini. Okay, you have to use the right material that will work outside. Okay, so this basic diffuse will work on other programs. So we have these colors. The character is using a quick UV texture. But all these are just colors. They are just material. So how is it that the stuff that we model don't have UVs, but we are able to put these colors on? By default, 3D objects, have three-dimensional coordinates. The points are programmed to reflect these colors materials that we put on these basic materials, right? But some have been programmed to also carry what? A texture, like a color map. So we have the colors on it. Okay. So now the question is, so why do we have colors and it comes on nice? How come we cannot use an image on it? An image will require a UV coordinates. Okay. When you put an image on it, it will work. Okay, let's do it on the main bike, the one that is selected. Let's jump in. To add an image to this, you don't have a UV right now, but to add an image, we have a quick UV shade in Houdini that you can add to it. You're already seeing that. So you hit U to get that quick UV shade. Okay. And you plug it in and you have the default image showing, right? So you flip it to the right axis. You see it's showing even stuff, but the bottom here is stretched because that is how the object is stretched. So it will stretch like this. The image, any image you put on, will stretch like this because it don't have UVs. It's just using the coordinates that are already on the object to show it. So when we go out to UV map window, set to UV, because we are using the quick UV shade. So it's giving us a quick UVs, but there is no what? It's not flattened. It's just a rounded thing. It's like the stuff are overlapping. Stuff that are here are overlapping on, the stuff that are behind. You want to flatten every part of this body so that each part is laying by itself. We can select this whole body again. And now we come to the menu, texture menu, and we call UV unwrap. It separates all the parts. So each part is laying flat. This is what I was trying to tell you. You see, this side, the right side is by itself right here. The left side, so every piece of it is laying flat. And in this case, we can put design labels over here. We can put labels over here, and they will show in here, right? So when you have this set up, when you have UV unwrap on it, it means you are able to put any texture on it. And the cool thing about this thing is this will allow you to send this UV texture, the coordinates out to Photoshop, right? And then you can create a cool or image for your bike object. Let's prove what we were going for. Let's prove the fact that now we have a material that will work outside of Houdini. Let's see how that works, okay? So let's come to 3D Max and see if that one did export it. Let's reset. Now let's bring the fourth one. Import. We have the fourth bike. See? So the fourth bike, the colors we have in Houdini came out. So that is how you export stuff out. But where is the distance? Where is the objects we brought out? They are here. See, they are all here. Go through them, delete the ones you don't want, and make your scene look very simple. That is how you change the color. Okay, so everything is simple.